special culinary whiz kid. Introduce
Thanks.
yourself.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Sanders. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for coming.
Of course.
Yes, we are very excited for what we're going to get into today. But first, we want to talk about you and hear about your journey. So, how did you get started in the culinary arts?
So, I went to UCLA. And when I graduated in 2007, which was the giant recession, I couldn't find a job. And I think I had like 2 or 3 part-time jobs at the time. And was about to lose one of them because of the fact of the economy going down. So I was randomly watching Top Chef one day and just kept thinking about food and creative food the entire night. So when I went to work at one of the jobs that I had, I was talking about, I think I might go to culinary school, see how it is. And then one of my coworkers was like, well, you know it's a little cordon bleu right down the street. I was like, for real? So after work, I legit went down there and signed up that day.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's pretty much the whole entire story.
Okay, so Top Chef.
Yes.
With your inspiration. Thank
Yes,
you, Food Network.
Bravo. So bravo.
Apologies. But thank you still, Food Network, for all that you have done for us.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. I've been watching Food Network since I was a kid, so.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
You know, I find it interesting. I've been watching a lot of Food Network, and there's all these young, up-and-coming food artists who are really young.
Yeah.
Like 10, 12.
It's insane.
And they have palettes that I don't even have as an adult. And it's interesting because they talked about how when Food Network became a network, you know, all these kids were growing up watching all this stuff, and that's what they aspired to be. Not Batman, but a chef.
I mean, I remember when Emerald Lagasse first got his channel, and
Bam! Yes!
And I think her name was like Debbie, and it's the Miss Debbie or Little Debbie cookies that are in the mall.
Absolutely.
She was one of the first channels on Food Network too, so I remember watching that all the time as a kid.
Wow.
All the time.
Okay, so you are a product of food going mainstream on TV.
Cable, and Food Network. Yes.
Okay,
Absolutely.
that's awesome. Okay, so good. The shout out to Food Network is still relevant.
Yes, it is.
It wasn't a mistake.
No.
I meant to do that.
No, it's just Top Chef is on Bravo, but
Yes.
Food Network is like the holy grail.
Yes.
Of like where food as a mainstream thing is just not you in your kitchen, but it's more accessible to the ordinary person, so to speak. The Food Network.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. All right, so now you've signed up for class.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about your first day. How are you feeling?
So to be very frank and honest, I feel like I need a redo over for UCLA. Cause like, I feel like I did good, but I didn't do great. Like my GPA was cool. So when I graduated, I wanted to like, I want to work for a couple of years and then I'll go to law school. Fast forward a couple of years, I'm like, well, since I felt like I didn't do as well at UCLA, grades-wise, I'm about to like kill culinary school. So I had no nerves because I already knew how to cook. So I was just like, this should be easy. And because I actually enjoyed it, it was crazy easy.
Really?
Like straight A's, like insanely easy. It was ridiculous.
Okay, that's awesome. All right, now while you were in school, were you coming home and testing out things on your family, testing out recipes?
So now, no. Only because my class schedule was trash. So I had classes at 6 a.m.
Oh my God. Okay.
Exactly. It was like 6 a.m. to like 11. So my boss at the time wouldn't bump up my schedule, so I worked at night.
Oh.
So I had this gap from like 11 to like 5 o'clock.
Ooh.
So my family did not eat any food because it would just be spoiled.
Yes.
So I ate it.
Okay, there you
And
go.
my coworkers ate it.
Okay, so someone did benefit from you
Yes.
learning. Okay,
Absolutely.
all right.
So
That's awesome.
we did have a fridge there, so some of the bigger things, like I think we made, like once we got into pastry, because when I went to culinary school, I learned how to do everything. So I'm actually certified to do savory and sweet. However, sweet is just my forte.
Okay.
So whenever I had bigger things, I would like save it in the fridge at work and then take it home. For the most part, I wasn't even getting home till like midnight.
Ooh.
Because I would work from like, again, it's a part-time job, so I was working from like 5 to 11 and then go back home paying for a car.
Well.
And when I left UCLA, I only had like $3,500 in loans. Exactly.
Wow. Okay.
Exactly. Now multiplied by 10.
Wow. Okay. Pro tip.
Pro tip.
All
Go
right.
to Trade Tech or just a JC. It takes a little longer, but it's way better on your pocket. You'll pay it off faster.
Okay. All right. Very interesting. Okay. Now you mentioned that you are certified in both savory and sweet. Now, what made you lean more towards sweets, which is my favorite, by the way?
My first job. Actually, once I started cooking, that's what made me lean towards sweets. So I was really good. I don't think I was decently good in like the baking and pastry classes. But once I started working, I was like, oh no, I'm not doing this. So my first job was at, what's that place called? Universal Studios. I worked at Jurassic Cove.
Awesome.
Right. So
Awesome.
I practically was like doing Panda Express type food, flipping burgers, making pizza. I was like, I don't really like this. Then upon leaving culinary school, I had to get like what they call like an externship. So it's like a job, on-the-job training, so to speak.
Okay.
And I opened BJ's at the Fox Hills Mall.
Oh, and for those of you who don't know, the Fox Hills Mall is now known as Westfield Culver City.
Yes.
Womp womp womp.
Yeah, the Fox Hills Mall.
Yes, that's for the true LA natives. The Fox Hills Mall. It will forever be the Fox Hills Mall.
For people that also don't know about BJ's and like the ratio of where BJ's is, I feel like the one at the mall, there wasn't another BJ's probably for like another 10 miles.
Wow.
So it was in high demand because it was a lot closer to the city and it was insane.
And because of Pazookies.
And because of Suki's. No, we had people who would go on lunch break and not come back because that's how busy we were.
Yeah. Oh, just quit on the spot.
Yeah. Oh, we'll go to lunch. Have y'all seen John?
Johnny?
Where'd John go? John went home. Yeah, people just walk off. Straight up walk off.
Okay.
It was so stressful. And I feel like I'm pretty mellow, so I don't really stress off of things like ever. So I guess I manifest stress physically.
Okay.
And so I was asleep one night and I was just like, my body was randomly hot and I started to itch. Literally while I'm sleeping. And half the drink and I'm just scratching like, what is going on? I wake up covered in hives.
No.
From head to toe. Because I'm such an A1 worker. I literally went to a BJ's and was like, so manager, I'm completely covered in hives. I'm gonna go to Kaiser, the hospital, to see what's going on here.
Yeah, dermatologist or something.
No, yeah, the doctor's like, oh, you're having a stress reaction and you need to be put on leave for the next 3 days. I was like, oh, really?
Forced vacation.
Exactly. So literally on those 3 days, I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. It was funny, before I left culinary school, I was telling one of my friends, one of my classmates, I was like, yeah, my plan is I'm just gonna work hard at BJ's and I'm gonna become a supervisor and a manager. And she looked at me and she was like, girl, you ain't gonna be at no BJ's forever. Like, you trip. I was like, nah, I'll work it out. She's like, okay. Right. I was there for 4 weeks.
Kim went on lunch break also? Kim, are you coming
4
back?
weeks. And it felt like a year. I was there for 4 weeks. And in the time that I was on my leave, I applied to like random hotel jobs.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, let's just try Marriott. And I ended up applying to work at the Ritz-Carlton in Marina Del Rey. And it was a temporary part-time pastry job. I was like, oh, let's just try it.
Yeah.
And I literally got a call, I think like a couple of days later. I put in my notice and I've been with Marriott and doing pastry ever since.
Kim?
I was
Kim
out.
us again, Kim?
We're gone. We're done.
Huh. Okay.
And I've never turned back on savory. It's something, like some people thrive in the fast pace of working a line. It's just not my jam.
Yeah.
So, and I also don't want to make it seem like pastry is just all laid back and cool, because we do a lot of things that is high pace, heavy volume, but it's a different intensity when you're on the line making like a single meal for a single person like every single night, and you have like 5 to 10, maybe 20-minute turnover windows for the entire night. It's completely, the stress is different.
to you're at the Marriott, you're working the suites, but then something changes and you actually kind of venture out on your own and start your own side business. Okay, let's talk about that. How did that get started?
Money. Everything starts with money. I was like, let me see if I can earn a little extra dollars. Mind you, I'm not slacking. They pay us really well at the Marriott, which is why I'm still there.
Yes.
However, I was like,
I'm a Bond Boy member.
Hello.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so one of my friends was getting married and was like, hey, Kim, can you make me a cake? Sure. So I had a really great chef at the time. His name is Alexander Bache. Amazing. He's dope. And he actually allowed me to make the cake at work.
Wow.
And helped me and gave me tips on it. So I credit her Miss Jasmine Smith. She's one of my sorority sisters too. And my old chef at getting me started on making cakes.
That's awesome.
And that's how I started in 2012. That's when I started doing my own thing on the side.
Got it. So it sounds like this person was also more of like a mentor for you and helping you through the ropes. Okay, that's awesome. Now, how important was having that mentor in place?
Oh, completely, because for culinary school, it's like, it was an accelerated course. So I literally only had, let's say like a total of 3 weeks of pastry. Right. Out of I think it was like a 6-month program.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and I only had like 3, let's say 4 weeks max. Because I think it's like 2 weeks regular and 2 weeks advanced. And then advanced is like learning how to do bread and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I've only done literally training of 2 weeks. So the culinary school experience I had nothing to do with cake design or anything. So it's all innate. I taught myself, and he taught me little tricks. And YouTube University.
Yes. All hell YouTube. Yes.
Yeah. So that's practice. It's just, I think what I say that I'm a pretty decent mimic. So I literally can they'll send me a picture of something and I can replicate it.
Okay.
And you just have to figure out the techniques on how to replicate it. But yeah, that's pretty much how I started. And then, like I said, he taught me some tricks. I learned how to make chocolate, designs. Like I can make showpieces because I watched him make showpieces.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, now for those of us who don't know, and that's mainly me, what would be considered a showpiece?
A showpiece is like a sculpture that would be made out of chocolate or sugar. So that's what a showpiece would be. So they could range from like this big to like 3 feet tall.
Wow.
And they have pretty much like a base in like vines and pretty much whatever you want, but it's strictly all made of either chocolate or like hot melted sugar.
Okay, yeah, that sounds delicious.
Okay.
Now, is that something you actually eat, or
You can eat a chocolate showpiece.
Okay.
You usually don't. They're mainly for decorative things, but they're edible.
Okay, I'm gonna remember that. My birthday's coming up.
I'm saying.
Who doesn't want
A showpiece for their birthday.
Yeah.
Chocolate.
Yeah, right. And if we can figure out some way to put caramel inside, then that would be like a Cadbury bunny type situation.
You actually could, because there are parts of showpieces where if you've ever seen, there's like ball segments on some of them. You could put stuff on the inside of them and then seal up the chocolate. You could do that.
Okay.
I also know how to make truffles too.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
I could just make you some truffles.
You're getting me very hungry. Okay.
Girl.
Which actually brings us to the next segment. So you will be showing me some things